Okay. Okay. Hold on here. Okay. My goodness. My goodness. What a funny start there. How is everybody doing? I hope you guys are all doing good. Um, Nobody's in here yet but me. um, Hi, Howie. How are you doing? Good to see you up here or in here. Um, I just thought I'd see how everybody was doing. I was supposed to be interviewing somebody today, and they did not show up. So we will give them a little bit of time. I was going to interview Star from India. Um, I think that things got mixed up a little bit. Hello, guys. Good to see everybody. But we'll see what will happen, right? If not, maybe I'll put the link in the chat and we'll just have some fun. I was going to ask Gil to come up if he could, because I had him set for next week. Um, we'll see if he responds and can be interviewed as well. So let's look this way a little better. My light's a little better this way. There we go. So, if you guys type the word love in the chat, it will share your link out. And I am I am interested in interviewing other people's channels for their to help their numbers and stuff like that. Also to just get to know people a little bit better. My interviews are a little more intimate than some people's interviews, but I just want to get to know people. Period. Hello, Tina Ladybug and 12 Stones. Good to see you. Granny Gardner. Um, uh, my granny's garden, sorry. How are you? Um, the young man that was, young man, he's younger than me. by, mm, I mean, he could be my son, so I guess he's a young man to me. So he was going to come up here today and show us what life was from India as a Christian, homesteading there, and it just didn't turn out. So, a couple of the things that I was going to go through, and I was I had some other things in mind if those things didn't work out. Um, One of the things I wanted to talk a little bit about was God's love and how much God loves us and how good He really is, and how we've lost touch on how good He really is, and how our view has narrowed from our hurt and our pain and things in our life um, that keep us from seeing God for who He really is. And I think it's very interesting that um, I was watching. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the book or seen the movie The Shack. Um, it's it's a very interesting way to see God. I don't know if I necessarily see God that way exactly, but one of the interesting things about the movie, and it's on Netflix right now, is that they look at God. He's looking. The character in the movie is looking at God through pain and through sorrow. He lost his daughter, and so he's judging God, and he's judging God with his pain. He's saying that you're a mean God, you're an evil God, you're this, you're that. Not evil. I don't think is the word that he used, but he just said that you're mean. You're I don't see you, and so it's just a tragedy. It's a sad thing that happens in this story. And you really feel for this guy. You really feel his pain. And I think that's good because we all have an amazing amount of pain in our lives. And um, and we all carry that. And we all walk through life and we've experienced certain things that help us through life, like just like a mother will discipline her child or a father will discipline their child. They learn from that discipline, and they that transforms their life. And just like that can happen at any time in our lives when we are in pain over something. It can skew our view of who God is and who even people in our lives are. And, you see one glimpse of somebody's life nowadays, especially in the media and everything, and you have this one view of that. Um, yes, exactly, Byron. Um, and it's just very interesting how God does that. Um, or God doesn't do that. How we do that. Um, and how we need to get back to where we were, back to seeing God the right way, back to seeing God. And in this video or in this movie, one of the things that God brought him into this shack and showed him who he really was. Well, we don't have that experience. How's that going to happen? Hey, Jamie's country living. Good to see you. Um, but what we do have is we have this very powerful book, the Bible. And God's been speaking to me a lot about getting back to the Bible. And I think He's speaking to the church a lot about getting back to the Bible, getting back to the Word, getting back to what is truly the foundations of. Um, Star is not here. I don't know if you have another way to get a hold of him. Courtney, I don't. I emailed him and, you know, all of that. So, um, yeah. So so getting back to the Bible and what the Bible truly says about God and what the Bible truly says about all of this. Um, okay, thank you. Um, so it's just interesting to me that it brought it back that way. And one of the words that I had shared a little bit ago. I couldn't start my car, and when I couldn't start my car because the key fob wasn't working, there was nothing wrong with the car. Um, I had to look in the manual to figure it out. But the funny thing is, I couldn't start my car. I was struggling to start my car. I'm looking at the car. I'm looking, okay, I think I can figure this out myself. Myself. That's the key word here, right? I'm looking at where it says on the side where you would normally put a key in an old-fashioned car. Old-fashioned. It hasn't been that long. There's a spot where it says that, it looks like you put the key up against there. So I did. It wouldn't start the car. Now, the interesting thing about that is I said, okay, Lord, I need your help. And I grabbed the manual. I knew that there was a manual to the car. And so I reach over and I grab the manual. Now, Uh, Good to see you, Gil. I don't know if you got my message. I grabbed the manual to my car and I literally opened the book up like this. Boom. It goes straight to the page where it tells you how to use that function to put the key in the right way to start the car, and the car starts up right away. So I put it against there, push the button, and I'm off. And the interesting thing about that is, as I was writing it down, um, because I thought that, it was just, it was beautiful. It's like, thank you, Lord, you answered my prayer. Thank you, God. That really meant a lot. Those little moments really mean a lot to us, and how good God really is. And I'm just going to finish this story and then we'll interview
Hang on,
Gil.
I got double things going. I got to mute one of them. There we go.
Okay. So um, the interesting thing is, it took the manual to start my car. And I could open the manual right to the right page. And now, if I knew the Word of God, I would be able to know that and go to right to the right page. And so basically I'm saying is, God's been speaking to me about getting back to the Word, and I just thought I'd share that with you. Um, Now, so shared that. Now, Gil has been very happy, very awesome. I was going to interview him next week, um, but we're going to interview him this week.
Ah, okay. Good thing I came in here then. I was outside doing stuff.
Now, if you look at my interview, my email I sent you, I said I don't think Star's showing up from Star Homestead,
Right.
because I think there was a cross between the time, even though we worked it out. And
Yeah.
I think that where the cross happened is he thought it was the day before. And so he was thinking maybe it was yesterday.
Yeah.
So, because India is a day ahead.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to that interview. I'm sure it's still going to happen. We'll work it out. We'll see him around on the YouTube streets and we'll make that happen. Now, let's get to the man of the hour, Gil.
Oh, me?
Yes. Now, Gil has been around the YouTube streets for a while. And how long has that been, Gil?
Well, that's where it gets interesting. Gray Man prepping, I started, okay, get my brain working here, 2008, 2006, something like that. Actually, let me take the, no, 2013.
Okay.
It was 8 years. I did my 8 year one last year. Okay. And that was when I was working at Homeland Security.
Okay.
And I started that up to do, I was putting videos out because there were so many changes going on with TSA, with Customs Border Protection, with immigrations, with rail service, ship lines, cruises, and everything else, as far as, and needing to have what IDs you could have, what you could not bring in the cabin, up in the train where you're at, underneath, wherever, the different things for different places.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was putting out little videos saying, okay, here's the latest change. Well, we have now a 3.4 liquid restriction for airplanes, for cruise lines, all the things, because of the certain dummies who shall remain nameless. Of course, everybody, if everybody looks it up, they can find it. But we're doing stuff, and I was changing stuff around, and then the federal security director saw what I was doing,
Mm-hmm.
and it came down from the Secretary of Homeland Security. That's a great idea. Have him stop but have them be a resource. And we want TSA to set up their own stuff. Immigration, it made everybody else set up their own little things. And rather than going on YouTube like I was, they set them up on their own government websites.
Yeah.
So you can go to like the TSA and it says our travelers, and you can go in and find all the latest updates and stuff. And so when I was done with that, it's like, okay. And I just stopped doing it. And so I'd never touched YouTube again as far as publishing anything until after I was up here in Idaho, and I was doing stuff. And then I saw, okay, the names are right here in front of my head here. I just can't get my tongue to work. Old man brain fart here.
Yeah.
Daniel Arms Family Homestead, Dutch, keeping it Dutch Homestead, and they were what they were doing and stuff. And what got me was that Daniel and DJ, his wife, had we're going to talk about what most froze again. What most creators won't talk about. And he was talking about their finances from YouTube.
Okay.
And he says, hey, he goes, it may take you several years to do it. And he goes, after how many years? He said they had been posting stuff before they finally reached a certain point where all of a sudden YouTube really started pushing them.
Yeah.
And then they had subscribers. So they went out even farther in front, and because they were monetized and making all this money for YouTube. So YouTube pushed them. And it's like, it may take several years for you to start making any money at it, but hey, my first videos were just things the family were doing that I wanted to remember. I didn't want to lose videos of and stuff.
Right.
So that's my first. A bunch of my first ones were slideshows and little short 10-second. They would have been called shorts back then because they were 10, 15, 20 seconds. Of different things we were doing around the property here. And don't go back and look at those butt ugly. They're still up there, but they're butt ugly. And my one camera, I didn't realize that because I was holding it like this because I didn't have a stand or anything for it. Well, my finger was over the microphone. So it was, like I said, it's bad. I'm really a bit. It was bad, but I was learning on that. And I started putting out stuff. And then I just started doing, a bunch of stuff. And then later on that same year, about 3 months later, I came across Just in Time Prepping. Will Russell, a great friend. He's sorely missed in the preparedness community. And he invited me up on his panel one time. Yeah, and he asked me about, on one of the previous chats, he asked me, well, what do you do? And I told him I retired from Homeland Security. Well, the next week he invited me up on his panel to be one of the ones with Reed from it used to be MOI, Manifestations of Imagination. Now it's Reed in. He changed his channel name, and then Anthony at Panel Prepared, and Uncle Al Dibo Frog 79. He invited me up on the panel with it. And it was my first time getting on StreamYard, and we had a heck of a time trying to get my audio to work.
Okay.
And it wasn't until Anthony came in. I gone out, come in, gone out, come in. Anthony came in. Went out, came back in, and it worked. So we don't know why it wasn't working, but once Anthony was on there as well, then it started working.
Yeah.
And Will taught me all sorts of things on StreamYard, and it was, that part of the rest of that, it's history. I've, been a StreamYard nut ever since. And I tried doing, going live through YouTube, but you got to do all this crazy stuff. And it's like, what the heck are they talking about? Screw this. StreamYard is push and play.
Yeah. So where did your idea for making your channel into a prepping channel? Was it that very fact that you realized you had some knowledge, or?
Well, all right. So I started off with, Camp Patton Family Compound, the other channel. So those that don't know it, I still got it up there. Yeah, I'll put here we go, love on that one. So I got them both in there now. On Camp Pat Family Compound started out just homesteading and gardening stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit of homesteading was preparedness stuff. And I was watching some of the other ones like Brett and Amy at Broussard Homestead,
Mm-hmm.
and they're dealing with hurricanes back there and talking about stuff they were doing, and they're a homesteading channel. I started doing a couple ones like how to make emergency candles, how to make oil lamps from jars and stuff. And I did all the one that's big one that YouTube started pushing about 3 weeks ago was my lamp oils, alternative fuels for emergencies.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started putting a bunch of those out, and I was also showing a bunch of the how-to stuff, like how when I was putting in the PEX water line and the yard hydrants, some of the electrical work I was doing on the house across the street. And for those of you who are confused on that one, we originally in 2016, we bought the house across the street on 5 acres. We weren't ready to retire yet. And my daughter had just finished gotten her degree at the university up in Rexburg. And her husband still had a couple semesters to go, and they wanted to stay in this area. Was fine, great. You guys can move into the house. That way we don't have to winterize it. And so they moved in right around Thanksgiving of 2016, and they've been there ever since. And then let me get my years right. We're coming up on 2 years. So January 2021. We bought this house here across the street on an acre. And, since, my wife said, all right, fine, yeah, we'll get this one. They can stay over there. And if our boys want to build on the 5 acres over there, we can break off and they can build over there. So anyways, I did all the work. Most of my videos were of the work over there on that place.
Mm-hmm.
How to stuff and things like that. And I started doing a bunch of the prepping stuff. And then in December of 2019, I was sent an email. I'm not saying from who or by what, because I don't want to get anybody in trouble. And the same day, Dave at Southern Ohio Prepping sent me an email saying, "Hey, this is some ugly crap happening over in the land of the Red Dragon." And so I hadn't opened the other email. I just kind of I figured, all right, it's another work question. I'll get to it later tonight, because I still get emails from work about questions they had, because they took 3 people to replace me. Seriously, they put 3 people into the different positions I held, and so they're always saying, "Hey, well, how does this work again?" Because there's a lot of on their systems. There's a lot of different hidden programs and different files and stuff for doing things. So, anyways, so I went back and read that one. It's like, crap. And then I started doing some investigation, and then Dave and I started doing some lives about it, warning people about what's going on over there. And one of my jobs at DHS was the emergency management coordinator. And part of that entitled writing what are called TRPs, tactical response plans to natural and man-made disasters. And I wrote like 40 some odd of them. And one of them was in-state pandemics, out-of-country pandemics. And all right, and this I could tell already, this classified as an out-of-country pandemic, and there were certain things that I put in there that were approved that were supposed to happen. Well, and so one of them being on January 3rd, what was going on, January 3rd, they should have locked down the country, allowing nobody coming from the land of the Red Dragon or from there to another country to the U.S., stopping them coming back. or coming over to visit. And of course, 4 people at a certain um, center
Yeah.
lied to Congress, lied to the president. 3 weeks later, my former team arrested them. And by then it was too late. It was already here, in here doing its nasty stuff.
Yeah.
But, so Dave and I just kept on for the next year and a half, harping about it. Everything wrong, we kept posting up, and we started getting shadow banned. I figured, okay, hang on, I now Camp Patent Family Compound is now monetized. I need to get another YouTube channel. And then it dawned on me, hey, dummy, you have Gray Man Prepping. I went in there, and it was still there. So I just deleted all the old videos off of it from before, and just started it over again. Started putting new stuff on it. And so, right now with it, I think I got like 487 videos over there. The big stuff over on Gray Man Prepping, they have the most of it's called Your Prep for Today.
Yeah.
There's over 200 and some odd videos on that, and each day talk about a different item for you to consider for prepping. Just they're little short 5 to 8 minute videos talking about that stuff. So, yeah, and I am very selfish when it comes to prepping. I want everybody to have all the information I have. Everyone have all the information I have so they can be prepared, so they don't come after my stuff.
Right. Right.
And
so let's go back a bit. And when did you start prepping?
1970-ish, as a Boy Scout. Started doing stuff. I completed all, a bunch of my merit badges, first aid, emergency preparedness, wilderness survival, stuff like that. And then coming up into June of 1971, we were living in Southern California at the time. The Sylmar earthquake, which they now call a few years back, they changed it to the Northridge earthquake. It's the Sylmar earthquake. That's what it was for decades. That's where the epicenter was. And it happened, and there was a lot of stuff went just totally nutso down there. And at our church, I was talking to a bunch of the adults and saying, hey, well, this, and they were looking at me like, how do you know all that stuff? And I go, I'm a Boy Scout. And talking about a bunch of stuff, they should be doing and stuff. And one of the things that happened right after that was my mom was asked by the president of the Relief Society at church to write up a presentation on emergency preparedness, specifically around earthquakes. So, so my mom said, I don't know anything about this. And I said, well, your son knows everything about it. So I sat down with her for several days and dictated stuff to her.
Sorry.
And she typed it all up, and it became it was a pamphlet, several pages of information of things to do and everything else. And that's when I started, doing it. And when they had an emergency preparedness fair, they asked my wife, my mom, to be the person on it, but she brought me in. She goes, he's the brains. I'm just the one that types the stuff up.
Right. So when did your wife start gardening, and was that part of your preparedness?
My wife, she had always, all right. My wife, her parents owned a apricot orchard down in Fremont, California. And she grew up gardening. And, doing all the apricots and stuff, and dehydrating them naturally in the sun, and they sold them to, was it Dole? What's the other? I think it was Dole. They sold their stuff to. And she had when she turned 18, she joined the Army. She was when I met her, and then 3 months after I met her, she got promoted to staff sergeant. She was in the 91st Division training. She was her unit was a unit of drill sergeants, and she at that time she was living with her grandmother up in Martinez, where I lived, and she was looking to get out of there because her grandmother was driving her nuts, coming home from working at the VA with a ring on a big glass. Clink, clink, clink. Can I have another screwdriver? Clink, clink, clink. Can I have another screwdriver?
Mm.
And
alcoholic.
Yeah, well, and my wife tells me the one time she got tired, she just poured straight orange juice in there. After 3 shots of straight orange juice, her grandmother was acting like she'd had 3 screwdrivers.
Oh, okay.
Psychological drunk.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, so she was looking for a place to move out, apartment to rent, and I'd bought my house about 3 months before that, and
where were you working when you bought this house?
I was working for a company called Mountain Cascade.
Okay.
It was California's 3rd largest underground construction company.
Okay.
And my brother worked there. In fact, my brother had recruited me away from the sheriff's department.
Okay.
Because I put myself through the police academy. Was working for the sheriff's department. I was working out at what we call Camp Runamuck. It's the Clayton detention facility, aka the farm, for low offenders and stuff and everything out there. And he goes, "Hey, I got a job for you. It pays twice as much, and you get to play in the dirt." I'm gonna play twice as much. I don't got to deal with these Adam Henrys, and I play in the dirt. And so I went over and I became an operating engineer, which is operating big, heavy equipment. So
then you bought your house. And how big was your house?
The house I bought there was, let me if I can remember. Basically, it was 50 foot by 50 foot square minus a 24 by 25 foot notch out of it. It was kind of L shaped. So, but it had a 20 by 40 shop on the back, and we bought that, and it had 3 bedrooms, 3 baths. And I'm like, okay, I only need the one, and I can rent out two of the other rooms out and offset the cost. Well, I rented the one out right away. This one girl that got divorced. It was what was the garage that the previous owners had converted into a little well, she was selling like knickknacks and stuff out of it, and it was right off the kitchen. So I rented that one out as a higher price because hey. Private entry into the kitchen, private bath. And then I was renting the other one out, and when my wife came, not my wife at the time, but when Chris came over, she had her boyfriend with her, and all sorts of bells and alarms went off in my head as soon as I saw him. Something just told me, like Bob would say, you got the vibe from the guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I had several appointments set up that week for people to come to look at it. I said, hey, I told them this is how it goes. All these people already made set appointments for. I'm going to interview everybody, and then I'll make my decision.
Oh, thank you, Joe. That's so kind.
Woo, Joe! And so I went through, and there were a couple of them that were okay. She had the better financial situation, but she also had the demon boyfriend. Everything got off of him. And she called and she goes, have you rented it? I really like to rent. I said, okay, yeah, I've interviewed everybody. Come on over, and you can get it. We can sign papers and stuff. And when she came over, she goes, thank God, now I can get away from my boyfriend.
Oh.
I'm like, yes, he won't be coming over. He's an idiot. He's a creepy guy.
Yeah.
And she moved in during the week. that weekend, I was going hunting with two of my best friends from work, and so took a long weekend, went deer hunting, came back, doing stuff around, and then she goes, somebody's, and I heard her yell and the other roommate yell, there's somebody outside creeping around. And of course, well, I'll call the police. I said, no, don't call the police. Why not? And then out came my riot shotgun. I said, I'll go check it out. And their both eyes went about that big around. Of course, the one girl was that big around and, ooh. My wife was that big around and, ooh. And so I went out there, and all I heard some footsteps running down the street, and don't know if it was her ex-boyfriend coming back or the other one's ex-husband had finally tracked her down. Anyways, they saw a guy with a shotgun in what looked like a deputy sheriff's uniform, and they took off and never came back.
Yeah.
I would say the following week we spent up several nights staying up till about 1 o'clock in the morning talking.
Mm-hmm.
And the next one of the nights she wound up in my bed and we were engaged.
Oh,
that's the big secret.
That's the big secret.
That's the big secret. It was like boom, bam, and we wound up being engaged, and we didn't tell our families.
Hey, sifting soil.
And this was about the first week of October, maybe the first week of October.
Mm. So that was pretty quick.
Very quick. About 6 days later, there was a birthday party for one of my nephews, and we went over to my brother's house, and she came with me. And when I sat down, she sat in my lap.
Mm-hmm.
And right then and there, my brother, my dad,
yeah,
he was yes, we're engaged. And she didn't tell her mother until we went down for Thanksgiving down to her mom's for Thanksgiving. And we did her mom's in the afternoon and my mom's in the evening. We went down there and we were talking and stuff. And about halfway through dinner, her mom goes, "So, what do you guys want for Christmas? You're setting up house, aren't you?"
Mm.
So she,
funny how the older people know, right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's the story of how me and my wife got together. And once she moved in, we so did she already moved in. Once she moved bedrooms.
Yeah. So did you propose to her, or
yeah.
was there like and how did?
Yeah, I said, "Will you marry me?" And she goes, "Yes." It was like, surprise! Oh wow, that was a quick yes like that. And anyways, we started doing things, and probably the lot I had bought was larger than most of the lots in the neighborhood where it was at. Most of the lots over there, the subdivision lots, were quarter acre or a little bit smaller. This was a third acre. Mm. And it was the original house on the block area that a person had owned all of them, that had been selling them off over the years. Mm-hmm. It was built in 1932.
Oh, wow.
And so we put in the garden, the house came with one lemon tree and one sickly looking cherry tree. Well, the cherry tree died and we couldn't save it. I think the area was just bad for it. The lemon tree froze back to nothing, came back, massive lemons. I mean, talking, wow. Softball sized lemons. Mm-hmm. And then, we just added more stuff. I re-landscaped the front yard because the yard went out kind of flat and then dropped off on weird angles and stuff because, and so did a bunch of concrete work there, driveways and stuff, and redid it, and then put in a nice lawn for her and everything else got the catalpa tree from a friend of ours who was the head of the horticulture department at Diablo Valley College. Put it in, put the lawn in, sprinklers. A year and a half after I put that in, she goes, don't get mad at me, but I want to tear the lawn out. I want to put a garden up front.
So
Hey,
how did you come to that idea?
well, there were several other houses on the street that had gardens in their front yard.
Hmm.
Plus, she made the deal if I put a lawn in that she would mow it.
Oh, she didn't want to mow.
I told her, you don't want to mow it. You don't. Okay, I put it in. She goes, you're right. I don't want to mow it. And so she put in a garden with all I'd already lined the driveways between the driveway and the lawn on each side. There's two driveways with rose bushes for her. And so then she started putting other plants and started growing, flowering plants. And then she started growing vegetables. And I built some raised planter beds out there for her and stuff. And then in the backyard, sometime during this thing, I put in a big, huge koi pond out there. I probably had about 15 koi. PG&E started jacking up the electric rates. The water district started jacking up, or not jacking up. Well, they started increasing water rates a little bit, but they dropped down the amount you were allotted to use. And over that was huge spike in water usage.
Yeah.
And so we filled in the koi pond, sold them all off, planted. She started out by planting Granny Smith and a Fuji, supposedly ultra dwarf trees.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't. They were just dwarf trees because even a dwarf apple gets pretty daggone big.
Yeah. Yeah.
And along that time, I'm just trying to think what all went on. There are different things that we started planting other things and stuff. My mom wound up moving in with us. She had been staying with my sister down in Southern California after my dad died. Moved back up because she was getting tired of all the stuff going on down there. Came up here. We built off the shop. We built a granny unit for her. She was in there, and suddenly, she became my mom's favorite child.
Oh, okay.
My brother was a little, what? I'm no longer number one. I go, no, and I'm no longer number two. You're now number three. I mean, no, I'm still number two, but you're number three now. And Mary Angel's number 4.
Yeah.
So anyway,
so you were one of 3 children?
4. My older brother had passed away. He got pneumonia because he got HIV from a blood transfusion. Yeah, I am more than opinionated on the Red Cross's screening process for donating blood. Anyways,
I am too, because I used to work for Red Cross and I used to package blood. So
yeah.
It was scary if you got pricked.
Yeah.
So.
And so, anyways, she moved back in with us up there, and now my wife is her favorite child. And and so she spent most of the time there. My wife took it a lot harder than I did when either my dad or my mom passed away. Because Chris was spending time out with she'd come home from work, deal with the kids a little, do stuff, go out there and work with talk with my mom. I built a little garden area for mom to garden in, and it would be a 4-hour story just to talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So, but all the while we're adding to our preps, doing stuff. When my mom passed away, she had already changed. She had what was the living trust when my dad was alive. She had already changed me over to the sole executor of the living trust ticked my sister off no end,
Mm-hmm.
and made my wife the accountant of the trust. Again, ticking my sister off. Well, I know all about accounting stuff. I'm a real estate agent. I go, yeah, and my wife's a CPA. Who knows more about accounting?
Yeah.
And you're the one that's got my mom involved, got our mom involved in that land deal, made her lose the other house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so when she passed away, she'd already talked to my wife, told her my wife all sorts of notes I didn't know about where she wanted stuff to go. So we got all the food storage that they had bought. It was about a year and a half worth of dehydrated food that my mom and dad had bought, and so we got that. All the cooking stuff we got. My mom used to be work for my grandfather's catering company,
Mm-hmm.
so she had these toolboxes full of all these expensive knives and all tools she'd take on the coaches when she'd go out to cook for the movie studios. So we got all that, and which my sister didn't know about most of this stuff anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So we got all this stuff, and so we got all the prepping stuff. We got the food dehydrator, we got all the stuff, and so basically, and then once all is all done, my mom had a orange tree that was in a half. At first, it was in a half whiskey case. 55-gallon wood barrel was in there till that rotted and was falling apart, and then I put that in a half plastic barrel. And when my mom had passed away, Chris said, "Okay, now it's time to put it in the ground." So it got put in the ground there, and that's where most of the big oranges we get here come from. That, but right now the count up there is Granny Smith, Fuji. I'm not sure the type of orange tree my mom had, but it's absolutely fabulous. 2 cherry trees, 2 apricot trees, a mandarin orange, a lemon, another orange tree.
Hey, fishes.
I'm going around. I'm doing a mental tour as I go around it. Shoot, it's not a peach. It's sort of like a peach, but it's another type of fruit. Can't remember, stone fruit. Can't remember what it is. That one died, and my wife took it out. Then the peach tree, then the Meyer lemon, then another then the lime, and there was another tree. No, that's it for the trees. And then she goes into the big planters that have the artichokes in.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So that's a lot of trees. So
yeah,
are you guys still on the same property?
She's still there. She's going to be there for. She's saying she's hoping not less than. Not more than 4 years.
Right.
So.
Meaning,
yes.
Are you guys in the property that you got married?
Yes, she's in it.
Okay.
Down there. She really doesn't want to sell it. It's Zillow at one point had it up to 1.2 million. Now it's back down to 875,000.
Yeah.
That's the way San Francisco Bay Area properties go, up and down, up and down. And so it's one of those things is that, we got our 2 boys are down there. Mm-hmm. One is working at Walmart on the night shift restocking, and that's walking distance.
Yeah.
And the other one now was working for White Magic Restorations. He's now working for a security company, making a bit more money, and not having to deal with mold and that stuff.
So how many children do you have?
We got 3. Megan across the street here is the oldest. Then Alex, who looks like Chris Helmsworth, only with longer hair and a longer beard.
Mm-hmm.
And then Matthew is the youngest, and he just turned 23. Yeah. So yeah, so those are the ones we have. Only got the 4 grandkids across the street. Eli, who has autism. If you listen, I've been on any of the live streams talked about it. Aiden, who has ADHD and some other behavioral issues,
Mm-hmm.
and Danny, who's turning 4 the day Saturday after Thanksgiving, and Oliver, who's 2.5, who that sometimes is terrible twos, at other times he's the terrific threes.
So you're running a successful channel. It's growing at a good rate. What would
This year, thanks to YouTube pushing that one video.
what would you consider? I mean, you were growing pretty good before then too.
Yeah.
What do you see as your route to success with that? Is it consistency? Is it
Part of it is being able to put out videos, several besides live streams, do at least 3 other videos a week, not counting shorts.
Yeah.
Shorts is a whole nother animal. Some shorts do really well. Other shorts go, dang, my live stream did better than this.
Yeah.
And some of them, some of them you don't know which short is going to take off.
Yeah.
Some of them just, one of the ones for when they were doing the concrete work out here, the first one I put out did, okay. The next one went, later in the day, the next one, the next one went, boom. Actually, it actually went up here a little bit. And then at 12:30 at night, it went from 400 to 12,000
Mm-hmm.
in an hour and a half.
Right.
So it's like, and most of the watchers on that were not in the United States.
Yeah.
And it's like, I got that many followers in Indonesia. I got that many followers in India.
Yeah. I've had the same thing with shorts. I mean, they're hit and miss, but they're good to do because it does drive people to your channel.
One of the things I will say is do at least one live stream a week of an hour. And that way that'll keep your watch hours up.
Mm-hmm.
No, because you got to keep your watch hours above 4,000 watch hours. Otherwise, you'll lose monetization.
Yeah. The
other thing is do a collaborative live stream. Like most of mine are collaborative now.
Yeah.
Because I have other people come up, we chit chat, we talk, we do stuff. Last night was an example of why to have a collaborative live stream, because the problems with the internet across the United States last night, and we're not going to get into that because I don't want your channel to be threatened.
I didn't have any internet last night.
And I was because my state at 8 o'clock suddenly started getting hit with internet problems. Now, I'm not saying what happened at 8 o'clock last night. Figure it out for yourself, people here in Idaho. And California happened in California and the Pacific time zone at 8 o'clock their time. Anyways, I was booted off. I lost internet connection for about 10 minutes. And I couldn't get on at all. And I was making phone calls around here. My daughter lost hers. Guys, everyone in town lost theirs. They're making phone calls. It was happening across the entire state.
Yeah, mine was in and out
until 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it wasn't bad until And so I just gave up after a while. I'm like, well,
Yeah,
why even go on? Because it's not any good. So,
yeah.
yeah.
And so, yeah. But I mean, I had both Bob and Courtney up here on my live stream last night, and they just, Courtney was, when she heard the topic on it, she goes, "I'm so in on this one." And so she and Bob ran with it.
Yeah. Good.
Homesteader, prepper, talking about the stores being full and people still dying.
Yeah.
And like happened in the Great Depression.
Yeah.
And I had a great. I'm not sure if everybody saw that slideshow on it. I'm going to try to revisit this around the first of the year with the same slideshow talking about it, because there were some great pictures showing the soup kitchen lines and what the grocery stores actually looked like.
Mm-hmm.
The stores were full.
Yeah.
People were starving.
Yeah.
And so that's what it was about. Anyways, more people in. Hey. Anyways, the having live streams mixed with your posted videos gives you a balance. YouTube wants a diversified channels out there. They want you to do shorts. They want you to do live streams. They want you to post videos.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I'm doing on both channels, both on Kent Patton Family Compound, or CFC as a lot of people call it, and or on Gray Man Prepping.
That's for Barry.
And let me see something here. Let me check something here. I want to check to make sure. Okay. So I'm gonna. This is my logo for the. Nope, it didn't do it. It stopped doing the avatars. Oh, it took me off. Yeah, it took me off. It's not putting up the avatar. Because usually you could put the avatar, keep talking, and not show your face. Now it's not allowing you to do that.
Let me see if it's.
Like, see, yeah, you can talk and I can hear you, but it's not putting up the avatar.
It wasn't doing that the other day for me either when Courtney was on.
Yeah, we're gonna have to contact StreamYard and say, hey, what happened to the avatars?
Yeah.
But
it
anyways,
I was doing that on Courtney's live.
Yeah.
Or your live. Was I on your live or Courtney's?
We had Courtney was in, but she was the ghost in the background because she was eating. She didn't want everyone to see her shove.
Yep.
So, hey, Carol. And so having it on your YouTube channel kind of stick to one thing. So I'm trying to Gray Man Prepping, trying to put 99% of my prepping stuff over on Gray Man Prepping.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the homesteading, gardening, family stuff on Kent Patton Family Compound.
Hey, Gear.
And to answer the question, which there is a video 3 years ago on what the name Kent Patton Family Compound stands for. And back when I was growing up, my parents had an acre and a quarter in Northern California. And everybody, all the cousins and stuff would congregate there because we had the blackberry bushes and everything else. So everyone would come over, eat blackberries and everything else. And it kind of got the name of the compound.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where the compound part come from. It long before emergency preparedness stuff. Back when I was a little kid, we lived there until 65. So we moved away just before I turned 8. No, after I turned 8. So brain fart here. So the first part of it, Kent Patton, coming across as one word, was my wife's idea when our oldest started in Cub Scouts. She started a new email. Since Juno was giving out emails for free, she started it on Juno, and so she started that there. Camp, Scout Camp, Patton,
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. She goes, well, it's Campbell Patton, just camp shortened down, but it's Scout Camp. Yeah, it's part of it too. So it's conglomeration of her last name, my name, and being involved in Scouts.
Yeah.
And so I said I'm going to keep that for up here. And so Camp Patton Family Compound, because we're had part of family up here, hoping to get more of the family up here.
So, what brought you up to Idaho?
All right. You can thank Governor Moonbeam and his dad.
Okay.
Those of you who don't know, that would be Jerry Brown is Governor Moonbeam, and his dad was a governor in California as well. And how they were screwing up the state of California and turning it so it's no longer California, it is officially California. Mm-hmm. It is a socialist state. And my wife and I, as early as 2012, were realizing that we do not want to retire in this state. And then Moonbeam passed the legislature to pass some stupid laws against retirees. And it's like, okay, we're looking elsewhere. Well, in my youth, I had toured most of the United States. I never got up into the New England area, but every state below the Mason-Dixon line and everything west of Kansas I've been in. Mm-hmm. I've been up in West Virginia, Pennsylvania, stepped foot in Ohio once. One day walked over just to put my foot in and say, yeah, I've been in Ohio, Maryland, and down south. And so in my job, I started researching I was required to research all disasters for all states. And so I knew a lot of the problems that most states had. And so I immediately was ticking, and we ticked off a bunch of states, and we're sitting there just, no. She goes, why? And I started quoting all the problems. And she goes, okay. And we were down to California, Washington, Arizona, Nevada, Utah, Idaho, and Texas. And then I kept saying, no, Texas, no. And finally, I pulled out the insect report with all the Africanized bees that are making inways into Texas, mm-hmm. and the fire ant problems. And I can't remember the other problems. She goes, okay, Texas is out. And then I said, water. Okay, well, New Mexico, Arizona. So I said, I lived in Arizona for 2 years. When it's 90 degrees out there and it's raining, and when it stops raining, it gets upwards to 120 in the shade. No, thank you. Yeah. And I see, Joe has shared us out, and somebody else has been sharing us out. I'm getting all these pop-ups of people sharing us out.
Oh, nice.
And so, and she wanted to go to Nevada. My dad's mother lived in Nevada, down in Henderson. I'd spent several summers there, and I knew what was going on down there because her company had an office in Las Vegas.
Thank you, Joe.
And I said, we really don't want to go there if there's a problem with Glen Canyon Dam or Hoover Dam with the water, Vegas is going to go on super water rationing. Mm-hmm. Hey, what's going on? Hoover Dam's half empty.
Yeah.
Or 2/3 empty.
It was that way 4 years ago when we were there.
Yeah. Well, it's even worse in the last 4 years. It's gone down another 70 feet. Mm-hmm.
Surprised.
So reluctantly we got rid of Nevada, and then I said, we ain't going up to Seattle. She goes, why not? That's San Francisco of the North.
Yeah. It is. It really is.
And so we got rid of that, and I said, hey, my grandmother was born in Idaho, and my wife had connected with two of my wife's cousins that had been into genealogy, and she talked to them about it and get some more stories firsthand from what their parents who grew up on the ranch said. And she goes, okay, all right. And I started looking. I looked at Idaho. I figured, okay, colder here, warmer over here. Okay, so I started looking around Boise area up to Adams County.
Hey, run it over.
Really good properties there, and we were about ready to go look at some when my daughter, hey, I'm pregnant. We want to stay in eastern Idaho. And thanks, Joe. Joe just put out the thing. Says check out Hedgehog Homestead and Gray Man Prepping. Gil also has some giveaways. Yeah. And so my wife says, well, we're going to be near the grandbabies. So starting in 2015, we started looking at using the internet, looking at all the different properties around here, seeing what the prices were, what was being offered. Hey, runneth over Garden Life. And that's the first one I sort of said hi, Gil, on it. Anyone else that said hi, Gil? Hi. Anyways, we started looking around here. We looked up in Rexburg near the university up there. We looked north of Rexburg up towards St. Anthony. We looked over towards, I forget the name of the place, towards that's actually in the foothills of the Grand Tetons to the east of us. My wife made contact with a real estate agent that was dealing up around Idaho Falls, up to Rexburg. And they, oh, you don't want to go down to Blackfoot. It's so windy down there. You don't want to go down there. And we found one that was actually down near Blackfoot that we were supposed to be coming out to look at. And 3 weeks we made an appointment. Hey, all right, with this person, we're coming. And they said, oh, cool, yeah, we're not, no problem. We'll be on the market past then. I want to get a good feeling for people. Our real estate agent 3 days beforehand said, oh, I forgot, I'm on vacation that week. But we already planned everything. We came out. We looked at one. We looked at a second one. Looked at that one was the real estate agent was Jamie, and we told her what was going on. She goes, "Oh, where's your real estate agent?" We told her what's going on. She goes, "Oh, okay," and she told us everything about it. She started playing both sides of the fence. As the seller, as the buyer, she started actually giving us stuff. She goes, "Well, do you need me to go with you for the?" And so she came with us for the rest of the day. We went around and looked at several ones, and then for the rest of them, she was acting as our agent and was saying, okay, this is it's showing good points, bad points, and stuff. And none of them, they looked kind of good, but we really didn't want to lock into them, those and stuff. Came back. She had a good one set up. I came up for it. Trying to remember. I think it was August 2016. She told the people, "Hey, don't do anything before noon. We got a person coming up at noon. Has the money. They're thinking about paying what you're asking for it." And we get up there. We're over there. She and her real estate agent never show. Calls out, oh, they accepted an offer for $20,000 less this morning.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, dang, I was going to offer 10 over just to make sure we got it. And they heard that on the phone.
Oh,
yeah, they were pissed, but they'd already signed.
Yeah.
So anyways, Jamie lives here in Basalt. And she was just happening driving down the street here as the people across the street and the 5 acres there were putting a sign, for sale by owner.
Yeah.
She hit the brakes, got out, and she goes, I got a buyer for you right now. Wow. Where do we sign? And she goes, I need to go in and take pictures. Inside, took pictures and stuff. Was texting to my wife. She goes, this $130,000, 5 acres, 4 bedrooms, 1 bath house, 2-car garage, subdivision rights, water rights,
Mm.
and my wife and I talked about it for about a day and a half and told her to, start the process. So they got the paper. We were able to do the paper electronically, signing it. She was at the office with them, signed it, did it. An hour later, someone came in and offered 50,000 more,
Oh, wow.
but we already had it locked.
Yeah.
So, and
Crazy.
my wife's opinion was, yeah, the house is not much. We can live in it and build a new house and tear that one down.
Yeah. Yeah.
She goes, the land is worth 132,000.
Yeah. That's awesome. So that was 2015,
16.
16. Okay. Yeah. See, we were looking in 2020, and the prices in Idaho at that time were, yeah.
But hey, 2020, I still could find some great deals here in eastern Idaho.
Yes. But we didn't want to, we wanted to live north.
Yeah.
But we were kind of debating that because of what kind of people live up north.
Yeah. The so and then in 2000 in September 2000 September 28th, 2018, the best day of the year to retire from federal service. I retired. Literally, we picked that day because all the things said this is the best day to retire.
Mm-hmm.
Retired from Homeland Security, and actually, I moved up here for that winter to find out what it was like up here in the wintertime for the whole winter.
Mm.
And I went back to California, did a bunch more work down there, brought stuff up. That made started making trips back and forth, spending most of my time there. Spent the next winter up here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just to see how things are different. Because no winter's the same up here. They're similar, but they're not the same.
Yeah.
And then in October of 2019, Brandon Fink, who owned this house before I did, said, "Hey, I'm moving down to Blackfoot. Would you be interested in buying mine?" Yes. Oh, wait a minute. I got to go talk to the wife, but I'm interested. Let me go talk to the wife. I told her, I go, how much? And so I talked to her, and she seen that she'd been up here. She'd seen the place and everything else. She went back online, looked at it, and she goes, "Okay, I need to come up there, and we need to, do a tour of it."
Mm-hmm.
And so, but we're pretty much incumbent on us finding something wrong during the tour. Yes, we'll buy it.
Yeah.
Came up to it, went there to walk through to it. And my wife was kind of started getting a little bit on the fence and stuff. And then his real estate agent says, "Oh, let's do some comps." She pulled out her computer, and my wife saw some of the comps. She goes, "Okay, we'll take it."
Mm. Wow.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. We found our property through a friend and got a back deal because otherwise prices were going up here like crazy too.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's interesting is, so I got the 5 acres over there. I can subdivide it into 10 lots,
Mm-hmm.
10 half-acre lots. The city has a half-acre minimum. I have to go to the city council to get a waiver to go less than to go down to a 1/3 acre.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, if there's a reason to it, I want to keep most of it. I just want this for my kids to have it for their stuff, so they can but they still have access to it. They'll do stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So
is that your plan is to make it into just a family?
it's a compound.
Yeah.
And my plan is to sell off if my son-in-law can not quit his job again, and they can get enough money saved up, sell off the part that has that house in it, because they're not going to be able to build like they thought they were. Yeah, he was like, "Oh, we're going to build a brand new house, and we're going to do this. We don't want a used house. We want to da, 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 da." And it's
Yeah.
like, pardon my French, but hello, dipshit. You keep quitting your job, you ain't going to be able to afford the house you're in now.
Yeah.
And because we're renting it to them at
Gardening farms.
yeah, we're renting it to them at a quarter of what we could rent it on the
Hmm.
market.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, my daughter wants to buy the house and keep it. He's anyways. He's a
Thank you for coming out, Shadow.
and so. But my youngest son wants to build up here. He wants to build his own place. He wants a half acre.
Hmm.
He wants bigger than what the third acre we have in California. He wants a little bit bigger and stuff. So he has the one corner he wants to pick off of it, but the other one doesn't want to build a house.
Mm.
Of course, he has Asperger's,
Yeah.
but mildly Asperger's, but enough. He doesn't like touchy feely.
Hmm.
He's it's just he doesn't like group peoples,
Yeah. Yeah.
unless they're family.
Yeah.
And so far, until he does away with his Thor look, he's probably not going to find a girl.
Yeah.
But
It works for some people, but not
yeah,
everybody.
and we can figure out. Yeah, he'll probably move into one of the bedrooms here in the house here, and he'll do his online gaming, and he'll do his work, and
Yeah.
yeah, he'll be happy. But my favorite nephew, Joseph, is looking to get out of letting get out. His wife is beginning to hate California with a passion like you would not believe,
Well,
especially when it comes to the education system there. And she works with the schools and stuff, and volunteers and stuff, and she hates the way they're treating teachers and stuff, and all the stupid laws. And yeah, so I keep telling them, hey, here are some of the big companies. Here's the two big construction companies. You worked for the number 3 construction company as a superintendent in California. That's a good resume up here. He's now an inspector for the East Bay Municipal Utility District. Big district. It covers most of the San Francisco Bay Area.
God bless Shadow. Shadow.
And, all right, see you later. And so he can get a job as a superintendent up here really easy.
Hmm.
Doesn't pay quite as much as that California,
Yeah.
but
That's some of the issues we ran into too. Yeah.
yeah. But I told him, hey, I'll cut off a half acre for you.
Hmm.
They were surprised. A half acre? Wow. But every time there's a house comes up for sale, it's halfway decent around here. I send him the link. All right, this is the current one for sale now.
Hmm.
But yeah, I would like to try to get some of the family, get them rescued from the state of California,
Hmm.
and get them up here, and yeah, be that way we can support. The family can support each other.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. That's awesome.
and that's just a brief history of me.
Yeah.
I did a video on my skills and stuff.
Hmm.
As a teenager, started working concrete and stuff. Summers I worked for my cousin for his landscaping company. When I graduated from high school, I went to started working on my degree for administration of justice. Went to work for the Contra Costa College District, Contra Costa County College District Police Services. There, got it. And I worked for them. Put myself through the police academy. Transferred to the sheriff's department. Worked for them for a while. My brother's got me making twice as much money working for operating engineers for Mountain Cascade. While I was working for Mountain Cascade, my brother had started out of high school of a landscaping business. He was still doing it on the side, and we figured, all right, some of the jobs he would get were pretty big. Okay, we need to get a contractor's license, so I went and got my Class A General Engineering Contractor's license, which is the top license in the state of California.
Mm-hmm.
And so we used that for side jobs and stuff. Then after I was vested in my retirement for the operating engineers, I went back to school, but started working part-time for a security company. I worked for Wackenhut for a while, and then I went to Bank of America in 2019, and because of my previous background in law enforcement stuff and the fact that I was listed in California as a resource for emergency preparedness, I was doing emergency preparedness fairs as a guest speaker and stuff. They hired me specifically to help them set up for Y2K. Mm-hmm. The facility Bank of America has in California, in Concord, is their data center. It's where everything is done. They have satellite backup stuff where they download everything to as a backup, but that is their main facility there in Concord. They got five buildings on that campus, and so I helped them set up for that.
Hey, Bob.
Got done with that. Another company, another backup company, Xantaz, hired me to be their head of security for their facility, which basically for all the stock exchange companies, they archive all emails and electronic transactions. So everything can be can be pulled up at a moment's notice of what happened 5 years ago on this transaction. They go and pull it up, and they archive it, and they have multiple setups as well to store everything at. I worked there for a while, and then a friend said, "Hey, I got a job for you over here at Chevron Texaco corporate headquarters in San Ramon as the head of security here." So I was over there, and I was working there when 9/11 happened.
Okay.
So I was working there. I got a call from another friend saying, "Hey, we're starting up this new agency called Homeland Security. Mm-hmm. Why don't you come over and help us set it up?" And so there I went. Ooh, yep. Federal government. That's a good stint.
Yeah.
So I went over there, and I stayed there until I had 16 and a half years in. 16 and 3/4 years in, and I said, okay, it's time for me to retire.
Yeah.
And that's what I did for most of my job. I did, like I said, doing landscaping side jobs a bit. I worked for a couple of construction companies while I was working for the sheriff's department, for others, side jobs and stuff. People I knew and stuff that needed a heavy equipment operator or something out there. So
one other question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see? What coming up on both channels? What is your plans for both channels?
Well, hang on a second. Let me do a refresh over here. Hendo, yeah, there he is. Hendo's in the side chat. He made a comment on my 3,000 subscriber video. He goes, "At this rate, you're going to be at 4,000 by Christmas." And right now on Camp Patton Family Compound, I'm now at 3,583 subscribers. So I might make 4,000 by Christmas. And if I do, I'll be giving away some $100 gift certificates.
That'd be sweet.
For Christmas. Gray Man Prepping, I got to get that back. I had so many projects going on here on the new property this year that I really cut back on Gray Man Prepping, on doing videos over there.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing one video a day released in the morning for your prep for today. I was doing other ones, prepping for beginners, prepping in private series. I was doing videos on that plus the live streams, and I cut that way back. This winter, I'm going to start kicking those back up. In fact, I came in to do a video for Gray Man Prepping today to release tomorrow morning. That when I saw this, and as soon as I can get Gray Man Prepping monetized, there's going to be a lot. I'm going to be doing more of the giveaways over there because I will immediately do channel memberships, which I should have done over here. And like I'm doing like the channel memberships, when I do my giveaway for on the 18th, Friday the 18th here for Camp Patton Family Compound, there are six giveaways for just subscribers. Then there are 5 giveaways for channel members only. So all the money that channel memberships pay in, I'm giving back to channel members in gift memberships, or in giveaways. Because I don't need the money for it, so I'm turning around to give it back to people. So all of a sudden, someone gets oh, I got a $20 gift certificate, and the email message will say, this is on sale on Amazon for your preps. Don't have to buy it, but hey, go check it out.
Yeah.
Help get people to get prepared. And so Gray Man Prepping, I want to get back to doing the Euro prep for today. Start doing premieres over there for some of the topic videos. I got a list of how-to videos that and other video topics for Gray Man Prepping that hang on, let me look at it here. I got it on the other computer on this screen. Okay, so I got right now I got 46 videos set up for the prepping for beginners to do. I've got I got 5 ones, kind of for prepping for all. I got 10 prepping project videos to do. Prepping in private, I got 12 videos topics all set up for. Make sure I got it all right here. I got some DIY ones, how to make different things, for and things to do. I got 2, 4, 6 of those set up there. I just got to get off my button do. I have done 255 your prep for today's. I have another 100 topics scheduled.
Cool.
To do. I just got to get start doing them. And during the wintertime, since I'm not going to be outside working outside, I get back to it.
Yeah.
A lot in the pipeline. It's just that this time with all the work going on around here, doing all the grade work I had to do for the back patio, and then doing the garden area, getting it ready for next year next to the back patio, doing the driveway here, the huge driveway, getting it in, doing the I'm starting on the section for the concrete pad in the spring next to the shop on the and connected to the driveway. That's at a standstill because of the rain and the snow and everything until the spring. But there's just a lot of stuff to do. So during the wintertime, I'm going to start pumping out these videos and stuff for.
So have you? Oh, there. I looked away for a second while you were skipping. Frozen. That's the snowman. No. Have you thought about doing like Amazon affiliates or any of that kind of thing for your channel?
Okay. I am conflicted in that.
Okay.
I was conflicted in monetizing the Camp Patton for the first time.
Okay.
It's like, I did not get in here to make money on it.
Okay.
But then someone explained, well, what little money you're going to make on it, you can do giveaways with.
Yeah.
And you can upgrade your equipment so your videos are better.
Yeah.
And he goes, you need to upgrade your equipment. It's like, okay. So I monetized it.
Right.
And then I drug my feet for a year and a half on doing memberships until Courtney did hers and I saw what she was doing. Some of the others, like, okay.
We need to schedule time.
Yes. And so I did. So I finally did memberships there. So for Gray Man Prepping, right now I'm sitting at 872 subscribers. The 1,000 subscriber giveaway contest is going on over there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically, I did this. I did the same thing for Camp Patton Family Compound for 1,000 subscriber here.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I'm not giving away, several $1,000s worth of knives and other tools because I already gave them all away. Those are things I had collected over the years that I didn't have any use for. It's like, hey, I'm getting old. I'm not going to go out there. I'm not going to get in knife fights. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to give this stuff away. And some of them were collector's items that I just, But anyways, so on for Gray Man Prepping, though, I do have a great giveaway. I'm going to Doc Bones and Nurse Amy. That's Doc Bones and Nurse Amy. Gave me a color version of their 4th edition Survival Medicine Handbook. This is color version, all the pictures and stuff. And
that book has some of the best reviews on Amazon, just to
yes.
let you know.
And they autographed it for who they knew I was going to be giving it away. They gave it to me, autographed it for the first place prize for the Gray Man Prepping giveaway. Now, it's really kind of surprised that people aren't. The only one really doing stuff on it is Joe, as far as shout outs and stuff. Guys, the contest for Gray Man Prepping giveaway is you need to get people to subscribe to the channel and comment on a video. So and so sent me over. Like Hedgehog's Homestead sent me over. Hugo Homestead sent me over. Hendo sent me over.
Hey, everybody, go over and put my name down.
Okay, yeah. So anybody here that's not subscribed to Gray Man Prepping, when you go over there, subscribe, ring the bell, pick a video.
Yes, it is.
Pick videos. Make a comment. Hedgehog's Homestead sent me over. Laura gets a point for everyone that does that. Mm-hmm. Right now, Garden State Gardener is in first place.
Star, this is supposed to be your life. We can do it next week and take Gil's spot because he
pulled me over here.
Yeah. So if you want to do it next week at this time, starting at 1:00 at the top, 1:00 would be an hour and a half ago. So just email me and I would love to have you. So.
Yeah. I keep wanting to click on the side chat, bring it up. Garden State Gardener's there. Woohoo! when he said that, I said he's in first place. But like on that one, I'm also giving away a bunch of Amazon gift cards. I have found out that I can spend what I would spend on shipping somebody a backpacking lantern or a knife. What I spend on shipping and buying it and shipping it, I can give them an Amazon gift card, worth so much more that they can get more stuff for it. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm doing Amazon gift cards, because it's that. Now, as far as doing a Amazon affiliate, it's like I'm dragging my feet again, folks.
Yeah.
I guess I really should do one, but hey, as much as I know, I need help setting up an Amazon affiliate.
I can help you do that. We'll swap.
We'll swap stuff.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things I have done for people, and I've done this not as part of the channel, but just part as a YouTube creator. Mm-hmm. I've gone one-on-one, not on a live stream, mm-hmm. on StreamYard. Rather than broadcast, you can do it has choices to do record only. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to record. You get a couple of people in there and you can just chit chat. Right. And it doesn't count against your hours. If you're doing 3 hours, it doesn't count against it because it's not a broadcast. And you can talk and stuff. And I've shown people how to use StreamYard. I've shown them how to set up how to make thumbnails, both in Microsoft Word and in PowerPoint. And now I use PowerPoint because it's so much easier than Word. They do it because they've expanded. I got on here. I do all sorts of neat things and do cool stuff, layovers and stuff. So I just and it's quick. It's quick for me. I can just I'm done, and it exports it as a JPEG, and it's the right size to go on as a thumbnail automatically.
Mm-hmm. We can change the time for you, Star. I am live tonight at 8 o'clock, which I don't know what time that is for you.
8 o'clock, you said? 8 o'clock, that would be your time. So it's 2:30. So that would be in 5.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hours
that would make it seven in the morning for him.
Right. So that would be next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, because I have it set up as a regular live tonight. So Star, if you want to do that next Wednesday at 7 in the morning for you, I will send you the link and all of that stuff. And I send you the link the day of. So I would send it like an hour before the live. So it'd be like sent to you at like 6 in the morning. So next Wednesday, which is your Tuesday, no, it's your Thursday. So it'd be your Thursday morning probably.
Yeah.
So,
Joe, we're just working out how to get Star Homestead on Laura's interview.
Yeah.
So we're just kicking around numbers right now.
I'm live tonight just for fun, and then Courtney comes on after me.
Yeah.
So we traded spots.
Yeah. The other thing too, you might talk with Star is find out what time it is for him at 8 o'clock in the morning your time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could do it early, and we could do it next Wednesday, your Thursday, early in the morning.
Yeah.
So 6 a.m. my time. Perfect. That would be, if we did it at 8 o'clock next Wednesday, that would be 6 a.m. your Thursday morning. Is that what you're saying? Sorry, I'm just trying to figure this out because I really want to interview Star. I just think it's going to be such a good interview. Yeah. And I really want to promote homesteads, lifestyle all around the world. And the fact that we share the same faith is very interesting to me too.
And for anyone going over to Gray Man Prepping to subscribe to give Laura a point in the contest, if you go to if you go to the playlist on it, you guys, it says home, videos, shorts, live, playlist. If you go to the playlist, probably the best one to go to, if you look for the playlist that is called Prepping for Beginners. Either one of the ones in Prepping for Beginners or Prepping in Private, probably the best one. Prepping in Private, video number 1, and Prepping in Private. It's probably a good video for you. It's one of my better performing videos because it's most informative. And that's the one, if you comment on that one, it's easy for me to, because that one, I get all the comments off of that one all the time. And that way, Laura gets points. Mm-hmm. All right, Joe, now you got to step it up. Now, Joe, you got to step it up and do a shout-out video only for me. The battle is on to see who gets the Doc Bones Nurse Amy, the Survival Medicine Handbook. But, yeah. And I like to have fun. And one of the things, too, that most people, if anybody was watching during Halloween and stuff, and a couple weeks before the live streams and stuff, you've on, Laura's, especially on Courtney's and stuff, when I'm up there on the panel before Halloween. Halloween is my favorite holiday. I love to poke fun at ghosts, goblins, and all sorts of other things. And for Halloween, my live, I was dressed up as
Thumbs
Mr.
up
Hyde.
for you. I'll write it down.
Cool. Okay. Some kind of daylight saving stuff. So your 8 p.m. Wednesday is my 6:30 morning. Okay.
On
Well,
Thanksgiving
he's
Day.
a half hour off. He's a half hour off of the top of the hour.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, so that's the day before Thanksgiving, so I'll have to have all my cooking done. Or can we do it the last star? One more quick question. Can we actually do it the 1st of December for you? Because next week is our what we call Thanksgiving. Um, so we probably wouldn't get a lot of views on that day.
Yeah, night before Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
everyone's going to be cooking and busy.
Yeah. So why don't we do it my 30th, your 1st, if that's okay. December 1st for you at 6:30. We could do it my 8:30, your 6:30 a.m.
Oh, that's weird. YouTube's playing with their stuff so much, they're changing what the way things look like and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I hate about what they've done. So across the top, thing of your homepage, you got home, videos, shorts, lives, playlists, community, channels, and about. Well, when you watch a video and you go back into like I was going to Laura's to see what videos of hers I watched. Usually across the bottom there's a red line showing how much of the video I watched. On everything except shorts.
Yeah.
It doesn't tell you whether you watched the short or not.
Right.
The only way you can tell whether you watched the short is if you had given it a thumbs up last time, and you go to watch it again, you see it already has a thumbs up. Come on, YouTube, get off the stick. I know when if I'm watching something over on Firefox browser, it runs that red line across the bottom of a short until it gets to the end, but it doesn't keep it there when you go back in to look at channels. I don't think it does. Hang on, let me check something out here.
So thank you, done. Is that for the 1st? Your 1st, my 30th?
Yeah. Yeah, so YouTube, you need to put that red line in showing that shorts if they've been watched or not.
Yeah.
So people can know, oh, I missed this one. This is the one I need to go watch.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's let's see here. Oh, I took everything up. The only thing I have in here left from Halloween.
Yeah. Okay. I want to know, Gil.
Is my contact eyes.
I got to send you some eyeballs. I have some eyeballs. I want to know, Gil, are you going to do a big Halloween thing when your wife has moved up there and on your new homestead?
It depends. All right. A part of the problem is usually we have snow by Halloween up here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. If it was guaranteed we weren't going to get snow until November 4th,
Mm-hmm.
we might set some of the stuff out up in the driveway because I have 4 foot by 8 foot sheets of plywood screwed onto a frame. I just set the frames up and I bolt the frames together to make rooms and stuff for the haunted house. And if I knew that stuff wasn't going to get snowed on, I would set it up, I would just put a tarp over the top for lighting, keep the light from the street lights and stuff, and stars and lighting everything up.
Hey, LG.
But some of my stuff, I don't want to have it out where it gets wet at all. The one of my pirates cost over $300.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And that's mainly for the mask and the clothing.
Yeah.
I built the rest of the body I built for it, and I stuck the speakers in it and everything else. But Yeah, it was a high dollar mask for it, and some of the other stuff I put together, my actuating coffins with all the animatronics in it. I definitely do not want those to get wet.
Okay, Star, it's in locked. It's on my calendar. Sweet. 30th, you're first, and you'll 7 o'clock is much better, I'm sure, for you than 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
So I'm
cool.
excited. I am looking
All
forward
right,
to it. Look
put
for
that
that.
comment up. Put that comment up so everybody can see it.
I don't know how
That
to do that.
Star's comment where he says you're 8:30. Yeah,
Put user.
just click on it. Just click on it. Left click on it should pop up.
Oh, okay, duh. What did I just do to it?
I don't know. Did you delete it? Did you?
I think I did.
Oh no.
Star, type that in again. I didn't understand what you were saying. I thought you said post it to the top. Uh,
Oh, you timed him out. That's why you timed him
oh,
out. So go back in and untime him out.
oh, how do I untime them?
You got to do it on. I'm not sure if you can do it on there on Streamyard. But I know you can do it on
Sorry.
there.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can untime him out or not, or it's just as timed out for 300 seconds. It's not untiming him out.
Message. I pinned the message, but
Yeah.
uh,
Oh, Star. Okay, technological difficulties here.
I didn't mean to time you out. It's 300 seconds. It's not untiming them.
Yeah, you don't keep clicking it. You keep on adding 300 seconds.
Oh, put
Yeah,
user timeout.
there should be one of the ones that I thought said you can block or you can hide. You can unhide.
It
Maybe
just
just a timeout. It's just a timeout. You can't
it just
untime
says
them out.
eyes. Okay. Okay.
Hang on here. Let me do it. Let me see if I can do this here. Where is it here? View deleted message. View deleted message.
He's a good guy. He doesn't need to be timed out.
Yeah. View deleted message. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so let's see if I can do that. Control C. Yeah. I should have gotten it. I hope that comes out right. Boom. Yeah. Okay, so I went into the deleted messages. I copied it out of deleted messages and I posted it.
Okay.
So now you just click on it. Just click on that.
Where is
Not
it?
on the dots on my comment on the bottom there. Just click on it. Left click once.
Oh, go ahead and do it. If I can't find it.
It's
Can you do it?
on stream. I can't do it because it's your
Oh,
StreamYard.
where is he?
No, mine, me.
Oh,
Look for my name. It should be the third one up now on StreamYard.
oh, I'm way down here. There
Yeah,
we go.
yeah. There we go.
go.
Yeah. So
I did know how to do that. I just didn't understand what you were saying.
yeah. So yeah. So this is for her interview with Star Homestead India,
Mm-hmm.
8:30 on November 30th.
Yes.
And if you're in India, it's going to be 7 a.m.
Yes.
Any Star's friends in India that are watching there? And I'm not sure what it's going to be down in Africa.
Ah,
Okay.
yeah, we're excited. We're excited. And thank you, Gil, so much for filling in and coming in and I knew what I was going to ask you anyway, so it was easy. That's why I was like, Gil can do it. I know that
Yeah.
he's been thinking about it and I've been thinking about it, so we can do
Yeah.
this.
After doing 30 years of preparedness fairs, where up in front of people getting questions fired at me,
Mhm.
I learned to dance on my feet.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not going to I mean, I do ask some meaningful questions, but you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
It's like
pretty easygoing. So,
yeah. I've I get told this a lot. I've crammed two or three lifestyles and lifetimes into one life.
Mm-hmm.
But I picked that up from my dad.
Yeah.
And it's just like, do all you can, do a bunch of stuff, and it's like,
Yep.
yeah,
I don't
so,
I don't know what it is not to work, and so this kind of works for me. I mean, my job before this, I was working 24/7. So this is kind of a 24/7 job.
yeah.
Yeah, start if you're out there still, if you put in the word love, it should share your link out too. And I'm gonna try to get that link. I couldn't find you earlier today. I'm gonna share that link, see if I can get it up there so that it's sharing it out as we're doing the live. Um, maybe I can have a good moderator in there and be done for me. So,
Good. Okay, I got comments popping in here. Mhm.
Bud
Now,
files.
if people are making comments that are coming from here and going to Gray Man Prepping and are subscribing for the first time, you make a comment. You got to say, Hedgehog's Homestead sent me over. That way, she gets credit for it.
Yep.
I don't know if you're coming from here or not. I know like 12 Stones Ranch just made a comment. I'm not sure if he's coming from here to go watch a video, but you need to put in there. Hedgehog Homestead sent me over. Now, if you're coming from Joe's or what, Garden State Gardeners, you put from Joe. If you're coming from Gear Grinding, you say Gear Grinding sent me over. Whoever sent you over, do it. And the same thing, if you share it out, do a shout out video, a short shout out video, or a regular shout out video. Be sure to tell your people. Be sure to put I sent you over. That way
Yep.
you get credit. That was my alarm telling me it was time to go across the street. However, I don't have to this week. My daughter's not working this week. She's on a flex schedule. So she's here, so I don't have to worry about it this week.
Thank you, Gear, for sharing that out.
And let's see here. What do we got here? This is go back to home and hit refresh. Okay.
Well, this is the time where I say good night or good afternoon. We'll see you guys later at 8 o'clock. Just to have some fun. We are just going to have fun. I do not have a PO box. I have a regular old address. I need to
Street
get a
address.
PO box. I'm planning to get that when I move, though. So if you email me at llhedges@gmail.com, I'll put that in the ll.hedges1@gmail.com. I will send you my address.
Ah, and Garden State Gardener put Laura Hedgehog's Homestead sent me over.
Oh, sweet. That's a one. It's not a quotation. I'm so used to using that as a quotation for other things. So it's llhedges1@gmail.com. Maybe I should redo it.
There we go. And
They can cut and paste.
I'm faster.
You are faster.
Hey,
Okay.
after sitting behind a computer desk for the last 20 years,
Yeah.
I learn a lot of tricks and stuff.
See, and I'm not. This is all new to me. I'm getting faster, but it's all new to me.
Okay, here's retracting it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not 1-1. It's LL. It's not 1-1.
Yeah, Lady Laura Hedges.
Lady Laura. Yep, that's right. Lady Laura Hedges. Otherwise, for some reason, it's supposed to the email. I need to change that. The email my husband put on our page is supposed to be connected to my email, but it doesn't work
Yeah.
for some reason. And he's like, "It's there, see?" And I'm like, "I don't see it where." Hey, zombie prepper, good to see you. Hey, zombie prepper, go over to Gray Man Prepping and put on one of his videos. Laura sent me over. I need to win that book and make it short. All right, you guys. So I'm going to cut this off now. Thank you guys for all coming out. It's been 2 hours of good time with Gil,
Mhm.
and I hope you got to know him better. Gil is
Oh,
pretty good. Go ahead.
something happened here. I want to let everybody know. If you're going to support a new channel, don't play the playlist. YouTube has a new analytic that if you play a playlist through and it goes all the way through solid, they discount it. They don't count it. They think it's. They say that they consider that inappropriate activity. So what you do is don't watch any more than 4 videos at a time for a channel. Then watch someone else's video. Then come back and watch 4 videos if you're trying to support somebody for watch hours and stuff.
Mhm.
Because YouTube's onto that, and I got a nasty gram saying somebody played your playlist all the way through. We are counting that as inappropriate activity and are not counting any of the monetization or hours from it. It's like, hey, I can't control anybody, So
Yeah, that's ridiculous because some
yeah,
people literally watch people's playlists.
yeah, and also don't let it play all night long either. And so if you're doing playlists stuff, make sure you click a thumbs up on that video. Make some just type in watching another one. Here we go again. Whatever, just a short little comment at least, so it does the algorithm doesn't go, oh, it's a spam bot.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that, Gil. They
Yeah,
destroyed another way for us to support people.
yeah. Well, it just makes it a little bit harder. Didn't destroy it, just made it harder.
Yeah.
Just and so basically, if you got 2 channels to support, you watch 4 from this one, then you watch 4 from that one, then you watch 4. You just go back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. Like like Star says. All right, you guys. Thank you. God bless you. And we'll see you next time on Hedgehog's Homestead. Bye.